Welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to show you how far I've gotten with my wings. I'm really excited with the effects that we came up with. First of all, we started off with the base because I'm going to put it on a harness. So the piece of plywood that I'm using is about 3/4 inch thick. I was wanting something kind of sturdy, that way I can screw into it. I've already attached the bottom wings to it, as you can see here. I also added another piece of wire, and I kind of looped it around these U brackets over, and then I also put a piece of foam just to make it thicker and sturdier so it won't move around, as you can tell right there. On the top wings, I've attached them also the same way with some U brackets right here, and I have put the tops of the material that I was using that I showed on the last video that we did. So I did leave a little space here, and I have puffed it up a little bit, and I'm going to show you why I did that on both sides here. As you can see, this one has a little bit of a puff up area on this side. The other side is pretty flat, and then it has an opening right here as well. Now the materials that I've used for the brackets were a 1/2 inch bracket for the smaller ones, and then 1.5 inch bracket that I'm going to use to attach this mechanism that I'm fixing to show you what I did. Also, the screws that I used, because the plywood is 3/4 inch thick, I'm using about 3/4 inch screws, so that way it doesn't go through far to the back. I'm still going to pad it up so that way it's soft on my back, so that way it'll be a little bit more comfortable for me. I also wanted to show you the type of glue that I end up gluing the material, the paper down to, is using E6000 glue. This is a really good glue that I like because it holds to a lot of materials, but it's also flexible, so it doesn't get like really hard. So it's a really good type of glue whenever you're using for any of your costumes and things like that. So one thing I've used, also the wings, as I was mounting them, they were still too flimsy with the wire, so I wanted to give it a little bit more sturdiness on the top part. So what I did was I got these little wooden rods, and what I did was I end up inserting them here. As you can tell, this one has one right here, and I used some duct tape there, and then one on this side. So I end up putting them just kind of like that. That went up halfway up the wing, about here. And I did it on both sides, so that way it would be a lot sturdier on both sides, as you can tell right there. I end up putting the rods through. And so whenever I clamped them also, it made it more sturdier as well. So this next part is what I'm really excited about. I was wanting my wings to move either up or down or flutter. So a friend of mine came up with this little contraption. Basically what it is a old electric toothbrush, but it's the one that has the two prongs on top. So basically it's like a small plastic that kind of comes up, and it's like a little brush that actually kind of cleans your front and back of your tooth. So what I liked was it had two ends of it here, and it had a regular push button start, on the front here. But what he did was he took it apart and put a switch on it. So here it gives me a little on and off switch here. So I'm not sure if you could see real quick, but when I turn it on, the inside is what moves, not the outside. So you can see if you can see that going there. So I'm going to show you kind of what we came up with. So what we end up doing is getting a piece of metal wire that we have here. And as you can tell, I'm just going to show you so that we can kind of see the effect of what we're going to be coming out at the finished product. But it'll go inside. We will need to super glue it inside, but if you do, make sure if you put super glue in there, and it's going to be one thing we need to be very careful of, make sure you're just gluing the inside wheel with the wire. and don't spill it outside, because then it's not going to let the wheels turn around. So this is just a longer piece of wire that I'm just going to show you real quick kind of what we end up doing. And I am going to end up cutting it smaller as I go in here, but that's why I made these slits inside here. So what it'll end up doing is I'll just kind of put it all the way in so you can see where it's going to happen. You'll have one going this way, and then we'll have another wire that's going to go into this side of the wings here. So you'll have two. And then I'm going to end up mounting it here to my base, and that's what these are for. I'm going to have those to come over to hold it down to my harness right there. Now, I'm going to then cover all that up with material and attach it and make it my harness, so that way you can't really tell. But I'm going to end up leaving a little piece at the end where I can probably Velcro it down and then lift it up and be able to pop this off to change out the batteries that are in here. So make it a little bit more easier access to change that out. So I will turn this on and kind of show you a little bit of what the effect is going to be. One thing is, when you are putting in the wire, be careful and not to twist it too much, because remember, it's a spinning wheel. So if it's too wide, it's going to catch. So you might just need a little bit of curve into the wire. But I just want to show you the effect that it's going to cause here. And then, there we go. So you can see basically the effect that's going to have on both sides of the wings. So definitely stay tuned, so that way you can see our finished product once I get it mounted together in my the harness finished up, so that way you can see the total project of the wings. Oh, and then also definitely stay tuned also, because we have whenever I finish putting that together, I'm going to use an LED light and have it looped around the edging of the wings, so that way the wings will also glow up when I have them up. So stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share our channel. Thank you so much for watching.